There's something that people should know if they are lactose intolerant, that there are certain dairy products that actually people who are lactose intolerant can tolerate a lot better. One of them is Greek yogurt, and they strain the yogurt to make it more thick. They actually take out a lot of the lactose in there, if not most of it. So many people who are lactose intolerant can actually tolerate Greek yogurt. Also some hard cheeses as well, cheddar cheese, Parmesan, not too much Parmesan, but a little bit of Parmesan can tolerate, and cheddar cheese is usually something that they can tolerate as well. Do want to make sure that even if we are not able to have dairy products, to make sure that we're getting other good sources of calcium. And if you're not getting enough, definitely speak to your doctor or a registered dietitian about taking calcium supplements. Calcium is going to be super important to delay and hopefully to prevent osteoporosis and osteopenia. So really important to make sure that we are getting enough calcium. Obviously protein, that goes without being said, but there are plenty of other sources. But being that dairy is a very big source of calcium, just getting enough sources from other foods and or supplements.
This week is Korean. I'm going to make cabbage dumplings. I started cooking my meat here. Just added a little bit of, it should be shallots. I didn't have any shallots, but I did have a little bit of spring onion, so I used the very bottom of the spring onion. And while that's cooking, I'm going to make the sauce, and we're going to just keep breaking up this meat. As soon as this meat's cooked, I'm going to drain all the fat out of it. I use a very lean meat today. And also what we're going to add in is some cooked mushrooms. I cooked the mushrooms first because I'm doing the cabbage dumplings. You have to keep the ingredients very small. And I have some spinach here. You know, spinach goes down to nothing anyway, so I just figured, you know what, I'm going to chuck some spinach in there. It's extra vitamins. So while that's cooking, and you see the grease coming out that little bit right now, I'm going to get rid of all of that. Sometimes I even rinse the meat, just with a little bit of cold water, just to get it off. Here's the sauce that's going to go in this once it's done, and it will be a cup of soy sauce. I'm actually going to do double, just because I have a lot of meat. I have meat from this morning that I made, and now I'm making this. So I'm going to do double the ingredients. And this is what my family are going to eat. But I'm going to call out what the recipe says. So a cup of soy sauce. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of monk fruit. I haven't got monk fruit, so I'm going to use honey.
And that's just a sweetener.
Use one. I'm going to guesstimate it too.
It's not baking, so you get to sort of eyeball it a little bit easier.
Sometimes it's harder finding the right spoon to measure it. So you know what, I'm just going to wing it. After that, we're going to use the toasted sesame oil. 1 tablespoon of toasted, so I'm going to use 2. This is half, so I'm going to use this 4 times because I told you I'm going to double in it. And then 4 minced garlic cloves. I actually haven't got any fresh garlic, but I do have the minced garlic paste, and I actually think it's better for this because we're going to use this in the meat and plus as a dressing after. So do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Doubled it. And then 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. Definitely grate the ginger. You don't want little pieces of chopped ginger. And then a chili sauce. I have a chili garlic sauce right here. I'm going to use chili garlic sauce, 2 of these.
And that gives it a little bit of spiciness.
With the honey, it counter out because it tastes so good. But we can mix it up, and there is your sauce. Once your meat is cooked and you're going to drain all the fat out of it, you're going to add half of this, and then the other half is going to be for on top of the dumplings. I'm going to put that over there for now. I'm going to use this stuff again, made a little salad dressing. So here's the meat. This is cooked with the spinach and everything else with it. Now with the cabbage, you use Napa cabbage for this because the leaves are longer. So here we are. I have some meat here, and it has the mushrooms in it, the spinach and everything else. And I'm just going to wrap. You're going to put some of your meat mixture in here. So we're going to get that nice and tight. I'm going to try and wrap it up into little parcels. And then you're gonna, so you have like
down.
You come out a little bit at the end. Let me see if I can do one more. Let me get brazen and do.
I was gonna say it was good to be.
Yeah, the Napa cabbage. Before you do it, you just steam it and you just put it in here. Yeah, dip it in hot water just for a couple of minutes just to get it a little bit soft. We're gonna do this again. There you go. Right, here we go. Let's see if I can get this one a little bit tighter. I mean, you can play with it. It doesn't matter, you know. You can just put it all in one pan as well. But it just
I was going to say, you're going to end up eating it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So look, so you got you 2. So
beautiful.
What you do with them, you're going to pan fry them, let them cook in. The one comes a little bit loose, but that's okay. Let me quickly show you, see how that's cooking, but you see all that fat? So that sauce is going to go in there. Okay, so you're going to get rid of all the fat, all the ugly stuff, and then that sauce will go in there, the other half will go on top. I've been trying to make like small salad dressing recipes each week. I have a salad here. It's also from Asia. So I just scrape down, like, it's just carrots and cucumber, which is so much fun. And then I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce to this. And then some lemon. There was some lemon in there already. I'm going to do another half a lemon. Ginger, I have a piece here that I'm just going to throw in there. It's olive oil, sesame oil again, a little bit of sesame oil. 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Chili flakes, I'm not going to put chili flakes in it. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in there and then some rice wine vinegar. Got the sesame oil and a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Why actually, it's got soy sauce in, so I'm not going to do that because it's just extra. I didn't buy the low grade soy sauce.
The low sodium one.
Yeah, so you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to put it in there. Right, so we're going to put it over our salad mix. And then we're going to add our pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds. Toast
nice.
pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds right over the top.
Oh, so pretty.
All right, so there's a salad. That all
Yeah,
in.
I love a salad like that.
Just
Mhm.
crunchy and fun and something a little different, you know. So this is the final product. There's my cabbage roll, the sauce at the end of it, my salads,
Beautiful.
and my water of the week is just an orange. The oranges are so yummy right now.
I am making a polenta recipe. I love how versatile it is that you can make it savory or sweet. I really love anything that can be versatile because it just means you're going to have it in your house and you can do more with it than you want. And that makes me feel better about buying that ingredient. So for people that don't know, polenta usually comes in like a block. I've already cut it, and then you can make like polenta fries. You can kind of cube it up, but I'm going to make a creamy polenta today with some roasted vegetables and a balsamic glaze on top. I happen to have a balsamic glaze that I bought at the store, but it's very easy to reduce balsamic vinegar and make a glaze. You can really just Google how to do that, and it's very easy. It comes together really quickly, but I have the glaze, so that kind of made it easier. You can really use whatever vegetables you want. I have a zucchini, some cherry tomatoes, and a yellow bell pepper.
Very colorful.
We're really eating the rainbow here. We're going to just put a little bit of olive oil, drizzle that on top, some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. You can do some Italian seasoning if you want. I happen to love Italian seasoning. I didn't have, but it's a really good spice to put on this as well. And I just put this in the oven on 400 degrees. You're going to pop this in the oven 400 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. So I'm going to just put my timer on, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to do our polenta. The polenta takes a little bit of time to kind of calm down. So I showed you that little tube that it comes in. I cut it into smaller chunks like this. I'm using a vegetable broth today just because I want to keep it all vegetarian, vegan. But you can use like a chicken broth, or you can use water, but you can use a chicken broth if you do want to get some protein in there. I'm using vegetarian vegetable broth. So you want to do a little bit at a time. We can always add more, we can take away. So I just kind of filled a little bit the bottom of the pan there. I'm going to let it come to a boil, and that will soften up that polenta. And then kind of just keep mushing it up in there until it softens up. And I kind of just like, I could have done the polenta and just show you the end result, and I will show you the end results in a minute in the bowl, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. And it does take some time to kind of soften up with the liquid. So you put a little bit of the broth at a time, or water, or whatever liquid you're using, and then it's going to soften that up, and then it's going to come into a creamy polenta. And then I'm going to show you what the final result looks like. And then I put a little bit of a balsamic glaze. So I had the vegetables out of the oven. I had them
Beautiful.
on top, and then a little balsamic glaze. It's like a hearty, easy dish. If you're adding the chicken broth, you're getting a good protein in there as well. And it's just a really easy lunch that comes together easily, or even a good snack. It's hearty, it's filling. You're getting all those vegetables in there, and it's super delicious. And you can use whatever vegetables you want, whatever you have in there. And if you haven't tried polenta, it's a good thing to go out and buy. It's super inexpensive. You can find it in a lot of different forms. You can also use like a more coarse cornmeal. You can use that too, and make a polenta out of that if you don't find like the already made polenta. We don't want it to be super super fine. We want it to be more coarse, but you can use that as well to make a creamy polenta. But if you're going to make like a polenta fries or anything else out of polenta, then you want to buy it that's like in the tube or in the bricks or something like that.
Because it's already firm